Central Florida, construction is booming. And where there are new buildings, there are new jobs. Over the next 6 years, the workforce will need 35% more brick, block, and stone masons. We're talking some 25,000 new jobs nationwide. Also booming is the healthcare field. 500,000 nurses, plus sonographers, physical therapy workers, radiology technicians, and more, all in high demand. Many of these jobs don't always require a college degree, but they do require one thing, and that's lots of training. Let's talk more about that. I'm joined this morning by David Ruggieri. He's the CEO of Florida Technical College. Always good to see you. Appreciate you being here again. Let's talk. You saw those numbers there. Does it surprise you that there are that many jobs coming to Central Florida?
Not really, because in Central Florida, we're experiencing just a tremendous amount of growth, not only in construction, which drives heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, plumbing, electrical construction, but also in the medical field. With Medical City, it's just profoundly growing.
And your school is booming right now, too. What kind of students are you seeing? Is it the non-traditional students, or are you seeing what you've always seen?
Pretty much non-traditional students. Most of our students are in their mid to sort of late 20s when they come into the college, and what they're looking for is maybe an experience outside of one that they might have had in a traditional college, something that may be a little bit more vocationally oriented, with a little less academics and a little bit more practical. We see probably more of that than just about anything.
What's the most common story you hear?
That a single mom wound up being a single mom a little earlier than she might have thought, and spent the time being the mom, and by the time the child's maybe 3, 4, 5 years old, she realizes that she doesn't have either the education and or the training, doesn't necessarily want to go back into a community college, wants to find a little more focused direction. That's pretty common amongst most of our students.
And we had met somebody recently who had gone after a different career, said, you know, I've always wanted to be a nurse. Now going back to school to be a nurse, is that something common you're seeing, at least in the nursing field,
Very much so, yeah, because nursing is not only a big demand here where we live, but also a big demand nationwide, and becoming even more of a demand internationally. U.S.-trained nurses are finding great opportunities outside of the United States if that's something that they choose to do. But there are so many other fields within allied health. There are just so many other areas beside being a nurse. There's all of the technical pieces involving, you know, sonography and, you know, EKGs and X-rays and all those things, and they're all booming at the same time because the population is getting older.
The demand is there.
The demand
you get a job, and instantly you have a lot of people looking for you. I want to look at some of the numbers here, and you just tell me what you think when you see some of these.
Okay.
These are some of the salaries that we're seeing nationwide. I mean, that's pretty good money right out of school, right? Anything stand out to you there?
Yeah, no, and those are actually pretty accurate. We don't have any programs at our particular college in massage, but we do have programs that are around that area, like esthetician and things of that nature. But those numbers look pretty accurate. Software developers certainly are making very good money, and that's a very long-term career option for somebody, because we know what's happening in computers.
It's all going that way.
It's not going to go the other direction. It's going to keep growing.
Business operations. I mean, these are pretty good salaries.
Yeah,
if you're wanting to change what you're doing, and you see some of that money, I know one of the first steps is going to your school, but I guess you need to have some serious conversations with the family too, saying, hey, I'm going to go in a different direction. What do you say to people who are maybe prospective students out there?
The first thing is decide what it is you think you want to do. And when I say think, a lot of students aren't really sure what they want to do. Sometimes going to school is too rapid a decision without doing the kind of a homework. So my suggestion to all people is to take a look at a couple of 2 or 3 schools, visit them first, go on their website. On their website, on the very first page, at the very bottom of most, there's all the disclosures. So the school will disclose what their placement rates are for a particular program, what the income potential is for a particular program, what the completion rate is for a particular program. Take a look realistically at that, and then make sure that that's consistent with what you want to do, because once you start these programs, regardless of the school, the intent is to graduate. It's not just to become a student who drops out, because then you wind up with debt and nothing
and
for
no
it.
job.
Right.
Hey, very quickly, what's your website in case people want to check you out?
ftccollege.edu.
All right, David Ruggieri, appreciate you being here today.
Appreciate you asking.
We'll talk to you
Thanks so
soon.
much.